here we are. You're going to take your 7mm knitting needles. Okay, and as always, we're going to start with a slip stitch, just like that, and put it on your needle. For this one, we're just going to do a simple cast on. There are many different ways to cast on. Some of them need to be stretchy, some of them are decorative. Each pattern will tell you which cast on to use, or it'll say use cast on of choice if it's irrelevant. For this one, just for argument's sake, we're going to do a simple cast on, which is you make a loop with your tail underneath and you put it over the needle. Don't pull them tight because you need to get your other needle in underneath there. Okay, loop on needle, just like that. Okay, so we're going to put 20 loops on our needle. So there's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Just like that. Okay, so the first way that I'm going to show you is throwing or English. So you're going to insert your needle into the stitch behind from the bottom up, just like that. You're going to take your yarn and you're going to go over like that and then pull through. So again, I'm holding my live stitches in my non-dominant hand, my dead stitches in my dominant hand. Okay, so this is my working needle. My yarn is also in my dominant hand. I guess we're going to redo that stitch. Put it back on the needle. Insert behind like that. And off the needle. Again, insert in behind, yarn over, off, insert, off, yarn over. It's between the two needles like that, and I'm rocking the back needle just like that. Essentially what I'm doing is creating a series of slip stitches or slip knots. All the way across. And again, you don't want to pull your stitches too tight. because you won't be able to get into them when you do your next row. And there we are, last stitch. Okay, next row I will do continental or picking. So for this one I hold my live stitches and my yarn in my non-dominant hand, just like I would in crochet. Okay, and my dead stitch needle in my other hand, in my dominant hand. We're going to do a cute little trick here to get rid of this end so we don't have to weave it in later. We're going to, just like before, insert behind like that. We're going to take both threads, both pieces of yarn, just like that. Okay? This little guy's getting away. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm yarning over just like I would with crochet for continental. Okay, so I'm inserting, I'm yarning over just like that, and then completing the stitch. Okay, this is called picking or continental knitting. I find that a lot of crocheters find this particular method to be a lot more comfortable and a lot simpler, because they already yarn over with their non-dominant. There we go. Two stitches. There we are. Alright, so keep on going. You want to get a total of 40 rows. I'll show you how to count those in a second. When we come back, I'll also show you how to cast off or bind off. Alright? Okay, so counting our rows, our cast on and cast off both count as a row. So this is your cast on. The bottom here. Okay. So if you notice here, there's the one bump and then the second bump. So that's 2 rows. So your cast on is 1, and that's your first row. And then every set of 2 bumps is another 2 rows. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, and 40. So it's our bind off and our last row. Okay, so 1 cast on, 38 rows of stitching, 39 rows, yeah, 1 cast on, 38 rows of stitching, and 1 cast off. Total of 40 rows. Okay, so do your 38 rows plus your cast on, so 39 rows. For argument's sake, we'll say that this is my row 40. We'll show you how to cast off here. So just like before, insert your hook, create your stitch, your second stitch. Okay, and then we're going to take and insert our hook through the top and the front and flip it over that other stitch on the needle. Again, yarn over, insert it, and flip it just like that. And do that all the way across. Over. We're almost to the end. Again, this is just one way to bind off or to cast off. There are many other ways to do so. Each pattern will tell you how to do it. If it says simply cast off, generally speaking, this is the cast off they're speaking about. It's just a simple cast off. Same as we did a simple cast on for this pattern. Here we are. There we go. And our last stitch, just like this. Here we are. Now, normally in crochet, in Tunisian crochet, what you would do is you would clip the yarn and then you would bring the tail through the last stitch. Fortunately, when you do that with knitting, you get this weird little bump thing. Okay, so instead, what you're going to do is you're going to clip your yarn and you're just going to pull it out like that, and that actually closes the stitch and it doesn't give you a weird little blah thing. Alright, and then you would just weave in your ends as you normally would. So there's the knit. Alright, so there is knit, Tunisian, and crochet dishcloths. Super simple, super useful, always great to have around. You can never have too many dishcloths. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Pop over to my Facebook page or pop over to my YouTube. Get on board with that as well. Always new stuff coming up, always new stuff happening. I'm always open to suggestions of what you want to see, what you want to learn, that kind of stuff. Just keep me in the loop. I'll keep you in the loop. It'll be good. All right. Thanks again. Bye.